All right. So here's the thing. When it comes to um, generational wealth and breaking generational curses, we have this one track mind that generational wealth and breaking generational curses only have to do with material things, money, houses, cars, things like that. You get what I'm saying? I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with passing down an inheritance for your children, right? In order to set them up for success and to be a participate in society and be a great citizen, right? We obviously want to pass something down to make it much easier for them to become those things or to do what they want, right? To not have to live in quote unquote bondage and slavery and things like that. Okay, cool, I get it. No problem with that. But why is it that we do not consider the passing down of heritage, understanding who you are? We do not consider the passing down of how to maintain these things, right? Because we live in a culture to where our grandfathers and our great grandfathers and grandmothers and great grandmothers, they spent their whole lifetime paying off homes and buying land, and we live in a time where when those things are passed down to us, we're selling them off, right? Not understanding these things, right? And it, it's almost as if it's taboo to pass down knowledge and pass down lineage and pass down heritage and understanding and good manners and how to be a decent person. This culture that we live in will have you think that generational wealth and breaking generational curses are only materialistic things. Here are some things that we need to absolutely consider when we're talking about breaking generational curses, when we're talking about generational wealth and passing down things to our children to live by, right? What happened to a code of conduct, right? What happened to a set of rules that needs to be passed down in order for us to function as a society, right? What happened to passing down sexual responsibility to our children, right? Are we having those conversations with our daughters? Are we having those conversations with our sons, right? Are we just allowing them to play that by ear? They got a bunch of money, but they both got 3 baby daddies and 3 baby mamas and 16 children between the both of them. You understand what I'm saying? That's a generational curse as well. Why isn't it that we're considering these conversations when we talk about passing down generational wealth and breaking generational curses? What about bringing up a family with both a man and a woman or 2 parents in the household? You get what I'm saying? What about how to select a mate? Right? What about how to cook and clean and take care of yourself and take care of a family? How do we pass that down as well? Listen, we ain't never had shit, right? When we come from never having shit, for whatever reason, we get it in our minds that I need to get some shit to pass down. Well, something else you ain't never had was a 2-parent household. How do you pass that down? How do you teach that? You get what I'm saying? That's something else you ain't never had. But the only thing you're thinking about is, I ain't never had money. I never had it. I never had it. I never had it. Right? I need to break this generational curse of not having money. You get what I'm saying? But you got, 6 kids by 4 different baby daddies. Or you got 5 kids by 3 different baby mamas. You understand what I'm saying? You can't cook, you can't clean, you can't take care of yourself. You're living in you're living in fear, and you're living in depression and anger and trauma. What about passing down how to heal yourself as breaking a generational curse? How about talking to your children daily to get their mindset on the correct path? How about talking to your children and talking to are developing great relationships with your children, or having your children develop great relationships with their grandparents, right? With the elders that are in your family. You get what I'm saying? That's how you break generational curses as well, right? We're trying to raise all these children up, and we're trying to pass down the knowledge of money without an understanding of who we are, what we want, how to maintain these things, how to be sexually responsible, how to run a home, how to take care of yourself, right? We're only having a conversation is how do we break the generational curse of not having money? How do we create generational wealth? But what is the extent of generational wealth? You get what I'm saying? Generational wealth is not only just cash and money and things that you can pass down. Those things over time are going to deteriorate. And if you're not teaching how to maintain money and teaching how to keep things in your home, and how to choose a perfect partner, and how to rear up a family, then all those things that you spent a lifetime accumulating to pass down to the next generation, at some point they're going to be lost, because you're not passing down knowledge as well. Here's a bunch of shit. Go ahead and do with it as you may, or as you will. You get what I'm saying? You're giving them a whole bunch of things without teaching them how to maintain it. For example, Dr. King, Martin Luther King spent a lot of time on getting black people to vote. He never taught us how to vote. He never taught us to get something for our vote. He just said, you niggas can vote now. You get what I'm saying? But the understanding of how to vote would have played a better, would have resulted in better decisions. We now can vote, but we now have the knowledge of what to do with our ability to vote. You get what I'm saying? And so when we're thinking about passing things down to the next generation, it's okay. I'm not saying it's a bad thing to pass down money and houses and material things of value. But what's more valuable is knowledge and understanding. Right. So let's start including those in our generational wealth and breaking generational curses, conversations with our children. Because we ain't never had two parents households. We ain't never had knowledge passed down to us. So what we must do is start understanding ourselves better, and how to break the generational curse of baby mamas and baby daddies, and getting pregnant early, and not being able to cook, and not being able to clean and take care of ourselves, not being able to take care of our mental health. You get what I'm saying? So let's start with us. And when we're passing down, all these materialistic things, right? Let's make sure we're passing down the knowledge of how to upkeep yourself and how to maintain yourself. Because if you can't ultimately maintain yourself, there's no way in this world you're going to be able to maintain anything else. Knowledge of self is important. All right, y'all holla.